Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are welcome to the home of the English rugby team. It's Twickenham. It's round 4 of the Guinness Six Nations, and we hope it's a cracker between England and Ireland. $82,000 souls will pack their way into this wonderful arena on what has been a day of sunshine. It's cold, but not a bad spring day at all, and perfect conditions for what lies ahead. What's passed already was a victory for France against Wales last night at the Principality Stadium by 13 points to 9. Scotland getting the better of Italy earlier today by 33 points to 22. It all adds up to a table that looks like this. France are in the driving seat. Ireland and England, well, today one of them can step forward and maybe still have something of a say when we go to the final weekend next weekend. There is confirmation of the weather, 9 degrees, it's cloudy, there is sunshine around as well though, and a wind of just 6 miles an hour. It all adds up to absolutely perfect conditions for these sides, and what we hope will be a terrific day, a day where Ireland come to Twickenham knowing, well, that England have won 4 of the last 5 here against Ireland. That only loss, Ireland's only victory back in 2018 in the last 5 games. England, well, they've only lost 2 of their last 25 Six Nations home games. That gives you a sense of the size of the task that faces an Irish side that many find hard, well, many Irish people find hard to believe, go into a game in Twickenham as favourites, marginal favourites, but favourites nonetheless. And at the week of the St. Patrick's Festival, well, there are many that have made the trip, and many expats living in this part of the world who have made their way to Twickenham Stadium with both anticipation and a little bit of hope, as Jonathan Sexton leads his side to the tunnel and to the entrance. And out he comes. Sexton becomes the oldest ever Six Nations captain, 36 years, 244 days. The oldest Six Nations captain on the books, and a man who extended his contract by 18 months, the final 18 months of what has been a glittering career, his 104th international cap. His ambition to lead Ireland at the Rugby World Cup and to hang up the boots at that juncture. Well, there's a lot to go between now and then, but he is a talisman for Ireland, no doubt about that. For Eddie Jones, well, all the talk this week has been about making Ireland firm favourites, but he's put a question mark in their heads. He said they've never met a team as physical as England in recent times. That has drawn a little bit of surprise from some quarters. The French are hardly shrinking violets. The All Blacks in November were no pushovers. But England, led by that man, Courtney Lawes, well, they are a side, no doubt, that is brimming with the ability to perform. The question is, can they perform as they make their way? So many little subplots in this one, aren't there? Lawes leads an English side with half-backs that are relatively inexperienced. All the talent in the world, Marcus Smith, but he hasn't proved it at the highest level today. Alongside his scrum half, Harry Randall, an opportunity for that young man to really step up to the mark. Maro Itoje, there were question marks about his fitness, didn't take part in the captain's run yesterday. He's fit to play. Tadhg Beirne, well, he will face Itoje down, and that another little battle that we look forward to. But before we get to the battles on the pitch that we look forward to, a word about, well, something that is drawn attention to every week of this Six Nations, and rightly so. Rugby against racism. And, well, today a day for escaping to sport, but England and Irish Rugby Football Union stand together in solidarity with Ukraine and its people and strongly condemn the invasion, and their thoughts with those affected by the crisis.
Twickenham, please be outstanding for the national.
Unquestionably an emotional reaction in Twickenham to that particular message. Now time for the anthems. Most definitely a number of voices to be heard singing Ireland's call. Now the turn of England. There was a unity in that, wasn't there? The vast majority, of course, of the 82,000 that are here looking for a performance from this English side. An English side that shows a number of changes, 3 in all from the Wales win. Jamie George in that front row alongside Genge and Sinclair. Itoje and Yules in the second row. Laws and Curry either side of Sam Simmons, who's in, with Dombrat moving to the bench. In the back line, just the one change. Joe Marchant in at outside centre alongside Henry Slade, Stuart Maylands and Noel, the back 3. But all about, you feel, that half-back partnership of Randall and Smith. As for Ireland, well, 6 changes for them from the side that defeated Italy. Cian Healy into the front row. No Andrew Porter. That's a big call for Ireland. James Ryan into the second row. And Peter O'Mahony retained at number 6. Aki, Conway, Keenan, and of course Jonathan Sexton did not play against Italy, but are recalled for this game by head coach Andy Farrell. And don't forget the Andy Farrell connection. 46-year-old, 8 caps for England. It's a big, big day for that man, as it is for those replacements. 23-man game. We say it every week. They will all play their part. Alongside me, a former English international, 22 international, no, I should say 22 international caps, 26 international caps. Doughty Morris.
How you doing, Roel? Yeah, that guy there against Sexton, 104 caps today, plays 9 caps. This guy can play it any way you want to. I mean, distributing the ball from the forwards. It's up to me, it's up to Marcus Smith, just I think to calm things down. He is the key man today. Referee and officials is up on the board, but for me, Marcus Smith, this is his biggest game yet in his international shirt.
Absolutely has all the talent. Has he got the control? Mathieu Raynal will control the game, the Frenchman. Mike Adamson, Pierre Brousset will run the lines. Marius Jonker of South Africa is the television match official. It's the 139th international between England and Ireland, first played back in 1875. We're off and running at Twickenham. There's a real little bit of electricity in the air as it's gathered by Sam Simmons, gets his hands on the ball. 13th international cap for Simmons. Back in the number 8 shirt, big plus for Eddie Jones this week. And, well, you feel if Ireland can just take a little bit of the emotion and control this game early, they will get a foothold, and England will require a bit to get back into it, because England haven't had the most auspicious of championships so far. Ireland set about their work. Bundy Aki, Gibson Park, Sexton on the loop, and he's watched really well. I think it was Randall who made the tackle. That'll do the young scrum halves confidence the world of good. Caelan Doris. England through Marchant doing really well to get themselves in those lines of attack for Ireland. One of the Irish players in real trouble. I think it's James Ryan who's receiving attention, and that's a head injury. We'll keep our eye on the game for the moment, but Ryan definitely in trouble. Maro Itoje, who we weren't sure was going to make this game, but the referee is going to stop because Ryan is too close to the play, and they need to take a step back.
Wow, both sides have come to play. Ireland in particular kicking long initially. Simmons taking the ball, a box kick from Randall, pretty long, and then Ireland just hit back. They didn't take the contact, they moved it out to the left. This is a HIA obviously going to happen. Missed last week's game, very crucial for Ireland. In the line-out area calls it, and he doesn't look too well, to be honest. But you have got Henderson on the bench if you're an Irish fan, and that ain't a bad substitute to have. And you can just see it's just a clash of heads.
Charlie Ewels, I think it was, yeah.
It happens, and that's, you know, it's not malicious at all. What you can watch in the top screen there is Harry Randall watching for that little bit of a roll ball that Sexton likes to do, pop it off to the first player, and then comes back around on the sweep. Randall was cute to that, very good.
Okay, put it on the screen, Marius.
There's going to be a look at this.
You want to review a potential full play, right?
Marius Jonker.
Yeah, we review a potential full play here.
I hope we don't go through what we did in Italy. We will have to see it a little bit slower. Here we go. Right, takes the ball in.
See, that is direct contact with the head.
It is, and it's a yellow card. Because as the tackling man, you have to be. It's difficult because it's a split second. Two big lads running into each other. We will listen in.
He's clearly upright, leading with the head. We've got a clear red contact, so I have no option. I will go for a red card against the number 5 white. Are you agree with that?
5 white, I agree with the facts, yes.
It's a high degree of danger, so I will go with a red card against the 5 white. Are you agree with that? Yeah. Okay, I will explain it.
5 white.
Now, the facts are clear. We've got a player upright, okay? So that's the responsibility of the player to not putting himself in a reckless position which can seriously injure an opponent, okay? He's upright, he runs the risk. It's a high speed, high degree of danger, clear head contact. I will go for a red card against the number 5, please.
Well, Charlie Ewels is going to get a red card, and they are not going to like it, but based on the protocols, and we've been down this road in both hemispheres at all competition levels. If you lead with the head, if the first thing that happens is your head makes contact with the head of an opponent, that is going to be the conclusion of the referee, and he doesn't have any other option.
He has no option at all. You have to have the responsibility being the tackling man. You've got a split second to do it, so you've just got to drop your size in a sense. It's incredibly difficult, as that guy knows, but by the letter of the law, as we saw in Rome, when Italy went down to 13 guys because there was 2 hookers off, England are down to 14 men in the first minute of a very, very important game.
An enormous moment in this game. Charlie Ewels is gone. James Ryan, well, I have to say it's another worry for James Ryan, because that is a number of concussions he's had in the last 18 months, and there'll be real concern about his welfare as well.
These rules are brought in to try and help people like James Ryan. It's such a physical game, but it's an incredibly physical game where he plays and plies his trade. The crowd are booing, it doesn't matter. The referee is there. He's got help from his 2 touch judges. He's got help from Marius Jonker as a TMO says, do you agree with that? Everyone agreed with it because, as you said, Ryle, these are the laws. It doesn't matter.
Jonathan Sexton, to a cacophony of boos, will look to get Ireland off the board. .963 international points for Jonathan Sexton, his first opportunity of the afternoon. Up go the flags, up go the voices of the Irish that are here. And Ireland lead it by 3 points to 0. But what an impact that decision from the referee, Matthew Reynal, has made on this game. Charlie Ewels, the bad second row is gone, and England are down to 14.
Well, we'll see the character of this side now. They haven't been playing well, England. They don't quite know, and Eddie Jones, which way they want to play. Marcus Smith had pressure coming into the game. He's got even more pressure on him now.
Well, what will the response be like? Gary Ringrose gathers the ball for Ireland. Sexton, Tadhg Beirne, Gibson Park and Tadhg Furlong. Ireland's front row disrupted somewhat by Andrew Porter missing. Cian Healy, though, in for his 115th international cap. Conway chases and chases hard, but the ball drops for Marchant, and he runs it back with considerable pace. And now England try to get themselves through a couple of phases and into some sort of shape, taken quickly by Randall, not hanging around. Good work from the scrum half. Almost up to the 22, but somehow Ireland have come away with it. Henderson, that is a risky pass across the three-quarter line of England. Sexton steps back inside Itoje to make the tackle. O'Mahony. It really is all going off here. Million miles an hour stuff. Aki, Ringrose, Van der Fleer, little bit of space. Dan Sheehan, the hooker, out on the wing. Sheehan, the Leinster man, takes over from Kelleher, who's out injured. Both hookers, first choice hookers for England and Ireland at the start of this championship, not available. Cowan-Dickey and Kelleher. Here's Van der Fleer, and here's James Lowe. Lowe pins the ears back. Will he get there? Yes, he will. Max Malins couldn't make up the ground. There was space out there, and Ireland found it.
Absolutely amazing. I'm just looking at the referee, whether he wants to go to the TMO, and I think he's absolutely fine with it. What a start to a game.
If there is anything special, he will come in.
Try is good.
Try is good, says.
Yeah, Laws has gone across. He's seen something. I thought the referee had seen something, but no, they're not going to go to the TMO.
No, it's good, thank you.
No, that's fine. And what a start from Ireland. Ireland will not feel sorry for England one iota. This is a professional game, even though they're down to 14. That boy doesn't miss him from there. Again, they've worked that ball brilliantly. The ball normally would have gone out to the right. Gibson Park, fantastic pair of brain on him, and just comes back to the left, passes the ball out, a couple of quick hands, he's in the corner. What a start.
What a start indeed. James Lowe, 2 tries against Italy, 1 now against England in Twickenham. And Sexton has the opportunity to give Ireland a 10-point lead inside 7 minutes. Even the great dreamers didn't see that one coming.
Well, Sean O'Brien, the famous Lions-Irish flanker, now with London Irish, predicted a 9-point victory. There's plenty of time in this game. But he predicted the way that Ireland were playing and England was stuttering, it would be 9 points.
That's what faces Jonathan Sexton. Will it come around? No, it won't. 8 points, though, after 7 minutes. And what a finish. Sheehan, Van der Fleer drew the man, and you could see Malins trying to make up the ground, but Lowe just too quick.
He could have gone inside of Gibson Park. He didn't. He went to his speedster. He went to the winger, Van der Fleer. Again, the numbers were on the left. Everything was stacked on the right. That's why I said Gibson Park made that decision to come left. The result is that.
We're underway once more, and Ireland have possession, and they've really owned the ball in the opening 8 minutes of this game. England living off scraps. Gibson Park will go to the air, and then England really just need to get a hold of the ball here and get through some phases and Zachary Stewart, the Leicester fullback, does really well. He's been really impressive in the air throughout this competition so far. Ireland have gone after this one again.
I think they've turned it.
Have they turned it over? Who's got it? It's an arm wrestle.
Tackle, release, tackle.
Ireland get to ground. The ball is there for the men in green again. Tadhg Furlong tries to flip it up, but it still finds its way to Irish hands, but then Lowe and Ringrose make a bit of a mess of it, and now England try from unstructured position to play, and the referee's decision was advantage gone. No, it wasn't. Back will come, but it's helter-skelter stuff.
It is, and actually it's very difficult for England now down to 14, because that will tell in the end. But again, I think they need a little bbit of control. They don't need to play what Ireland are trying to do. Ireland are trying to frighten England off the park at the moment with playing this ball out the back, forwards and backs, interlinking. You know, just a couple of plays before when England got a penalty, Harry Randall tapped and go. That's fine. That's okay if he's in a Bristol shirt. But in this occasion, I don't think that was the right option personally. Just calm things down. You've just gone down to 14 guys, put it into the corner. Let these guys get that thing that England used to be proud of, a really big pack of forwards, a good arm wrestle, frighten the living daylights out of you.
Voice of Dowie Morris, Twickenham, former England scrum half, of course. Into the second row goes Courtney Laws. Jack Noel comes off his wing onto the flank. That's he with the blue scrum cap. So England have a full 8, albeit with a back playing on the flank.
Well, there ain't a problem with Courtney Laws going in the second row, obviously. I'm just interested to see what his partner in crime, Mario Itoje's work rate is, because you know he's one of England's big ball carriers, big turnovers, big everything on the pitch, and he's had that flu issue or whatever it was. He didn't have a captain's run, so England will need him now to be above his best.
So then Ireland with a scrum that has 100% record on their own ball in this championship so far. England 92% on their own ball, and without fuels, it's an imbalanced England scrum which goes down, and Ireland get the penalty, and this opening 10 minutes has gone all green.
First push, collapse.
And that's a bad sign. He's a quiet man, apparently, Mr. Furlong. Ellis Genge isn't. But it's in, if you go down on your knee or your elbow, I can't see because I'm on the wrong side, obviously. The referee was in no doubt whatsoever that that was an Irish pen. Sexton into the corner. Well, not as far as you would like, but again, make sure Ireland have come to play. They have come to tear England apart.
Well, let's see if we can see it here. Again,
what's on the other side?
Yeah. It's hard to tell from that angle, really. Ellis Genge, though very clearly penalised by the referee.
Here, don't move. England.
Which was in the right position because it was his.
England.
It was right in front of him. So
England. Okay. England.
So then Dan Sheehan, just 23 years of age, with the responsibility of throwing to the Irish line and taken by Caelan Doris, and then James Lowe, and Sexton appears again out wide. And it's taken on by Hugo Keenan, and Keenan into the 22. Noel with the desperate tackle, but gets there. Ringrose, the first receiver. Now Dan Sheehan. Ireland really mixing it up, backs and forwards. All sorts of options there. Off the breakdown. Gibson Park, short side. Gary Ringrose. Tackles are made. England defending once more. Byrne, it'll pop off to Sheehan, and Ireland are absolutely rampant now. 6 meters short of the English line. Gibson Park holds on, and England through Jamie George just about get to him. Still there for Ireland. They're playing sevens rugby now. Bundy Aki 3 meters short. Ringrose caught in possession. Another penalty being offered to Ireland. Keenan, high tackle, scream the crowd. The referee will look at that later. Conway will step. Doris out wide. Ireland in again. The TMO will decide.
He's got to look at it, but they're playing an advantage. I think it was Furlong on somebody, may have been Slade in the midfield. They were playing advantage. They're playing two advantages. Ireland are very cute.
I just want to check two things.
Well, listen
First, on the rack close to the Ingle line, I just want to check if there is a knock on by Green. Okay. And then I want to check how he lost the ball, how the English player lost the ball on the interception.
Okay.
Well, there was only going to be one winner in this one. Harry Randall, one of the smallest. Kieran Doris, one of the biggest. But we're looking at two things, so bear with us.
Give me space, boys.
So that's the grounding, and that's all fine. Back will go for a potential
for me, it's a knock-on for England here, so there is advantage, and I want to check. Can we have
the crowd will boo, but again, I like the way Ireland are playing because again they go really beautiful on that far side.
Okay, it's coming
they
now.
cut back once and then they go and hit again. It's almost like a reverse of the first try. Whereas England think they're going to come back into the midfield. They go.
Was that a knock forward? Referee will decide. There.
So,
okay, wait for the camera, please. Matthew, wait for the camera. Wait for the camera.
No.
All right. So,
from what I saw on the big screen, a player involved in a ruck touched the arm of the scrum half, okay, which is legal, and the scrum half lost the possession of the ball in front of him, so it will be a knock-on by the scrum half. Are you happy with that?
I agree with you. Yes.
Okay. No try?
No try for the knock forwards. It'll be a scrum to England. I think Jonathan Sexton's going to ask, was it under advantage to Ireland at the time?
I think he's probably going over to the referee now, whether we can hear in.
Sorry?
What was the penalty for the last time, please?
The clear moving forward and collapse. Clear.
Forward.
Yeah, forward.
Okay.
Not only you, all the front row.
Okay.
But whatever happens, it's the try's been rubbed off.
Space,
I don't think Ireland will stop playing the way they're trying to play. They're trying to stretch England in the midfield. They're hitting back on the blind side. And the backs and forward, you wouldn't know what numbers on their shirts, really. They're so comfortable with the ball in hand. This is the way Farrell wants. This is the way Mike Catt wants them to play. Play with a smile on your face.
The point almost made by the officiating party referring to the scrum half, who was in fact Gary Ringrose.
Yes, he was. But a big scrum for England. Obviously, that's massive after what happened last time.
Harry Randall feeds, and that is better from England, much better. But Ireland get a little bit of a squeeze on. The decision of the referee is that is one in the ledger for the front row of England. Sinclair George and Genge get the penalty.
Well, they've got to keep that on, and that intensity, and that desire, and that whatever it's in their bellies now for the full game. Very good scrum, very good response in a sense. Going round Ireland, just nudging it round.
Here is your mark.
I think that says everything, but again, it's a hell of a way to go.
Jamie, stay in the middle.
So all the little wins add up at the end of the day. They all know it. Here's Jamie George. 65th international cap. Every little bit of that experience important now to England. And again, another little win in the ledger. Ireland closing the gap.
Yeah, as the ref just thinking, oh, I'll give England a few penalties. I'm getting booed by the crowd here. I don't like it. Ball's going up. Gary Owen time. That's too far.
It's not a good kick from Martin Smith, and Hugo Keenan will gobble those up all day. Narrow side again, Ian Henderson hit by Maro Itoje and drives the legs and into England's half. Ireland go once more. That one doesn't go to hand. Picked up by Keenan. Gibson Park. Bundyaki. Ireland looking for the space once more. James Lowe on the outside. Tackle is made by Malins. England go after it, but don't win it, but get the penalty. And that's a better 3 or 4 minutes for England.
They're just getting themselves back into the game. Like I said, they're just staying off and not flying up into Ireland's play now at the moment. They're just reading what Ireland are trying to do, which we can all see what Ireland's trying to do. The precision there. Lowe does well. I think it was Malins over the top.
No, Merchant, I
apologise.
Malins made the tackle.
Yeah. Joe Marchant's over the top there and does very well. You're allowed to do it next to the ball, then gets taken off illegally, so that's what the penalty was given for.
Time is off, yeah.
But England getting a few decisions from the referee that will please the coaching staff. It'll please the players, obviously. But again, territory-wise, and that isn't a good sign because he's just back from injury.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom Curry. It's the right leg, whether that's knee or ankle, I'm not sure. But the word substitution, you heard it.
Well, he's off, mate, that's for sure. But again, you can see the way Ireland want to go hit blind Henderson when they come back in the open. That isn't a good sign for Curry. Don Brandt will have to come on where and who now goes to open. Well, Sam Simmons is a number 8, but he's as quick as an open side.
Yeah, it's Alex Don Brandt that comes in, 8th international cap. Started against Wales, scored a try, and then he comes into what is a all-changed English pack. Really sorry to see Curry go.
They'll miss his... You're talking about desire. This guy's got it in spades. Eddie Jones looks on. But again, Don Brandt, I think a bit of COVID, didn't he, early in the week, so he's had to be isolated. Yeah, but again, you'll know obviously he looks fine and fit, and he's had his tests, so he'll know all the calls.
Kick from the boot of Henry Slade to try and get every inch he can. Rare opportunity of the platform of a line-out for England inside the Irish 10-metre line.
England.
Well, they've gone for a 5-man line-out. Simmons is out in the midfield.
Oh, they've gone after it, and who's going to win it? Knocked forward by an Irish hand. They got a body in the air to disrupt the English throw. England will get a second throw of the dice in terms of the set piece, but this time it'll be a scrum.
They will go to a scrum, but they'll have to put again a back in, so that's one less back out in the midfield. And we saw what happened in Cardiff last night. Walkie, wow, what a player he is. They're throwing up, he wins the ball. All of a sudden, Wales worked it out. And France's ball supply dried up. And that's a big key area. So, again, set piece, crucial. But again, you can stop a side by just trying to outthink him. England are going to do the outthinking now.
Bye! No. Guys, boss front row, we need a space. Okay?
So we're not moving to the mark, please.
If you've joined us late, 8 points to nil, Ireland lead. The try from James Lowe after 6 minutes or so. But the big news is the dismissal of the English second row, Charlie Ewels, for a high tackle on Ireland's second row, James Ryan. Straight red card from the referee, Matthew Raynal. England down to 14. There for England as again they try to get the shove on, but Ireland turn it again and they're twisting it, and Genge after a stuttery start has found his rhythm, and England have an opportunity to kick some points.
Oh, they'll take the 3 here and hopefully get the 3. Jack Noel says it's easy, this scrimmaging, Mark. But again, they've got the bit between the teeth. This front row, they know this is the only way England are going to get back into this game or have a chance of winning. If they can get into the brain or the mind of the referee, just say, right, we've just won 2 penalties now of the last 2 scrums.
Pierre, de ton côté. Okay.
Big kick, big pressure kick, well within his range, knocks this over in his sleep for fun. But again, this is what you'll be judged on as an international fly half: your percentage, your composure, your accuracy.
Yeah, 78% kick success for Marcus Smith so far. 23-year-old settles himself, steps forward, and gets England on the scoreboard. He still has to prove himself at this level, but all the signs, the skill level unquestionable, the temperament is there. It's whether he can manage, and days like this are the days you're going to find out.
Absolutely. You know, Sexton has got the T-shirt, 104 caps today. This lad wants to be there for England. He is the future. I have no problem with it. He dictates things for Harlequins. Slightly bigger step up now against Ireland, but again, this is how you mark yourself out, as being that guy that can change a game or manage a game, and that's what England need at the moment. We need someone to manage it.
Sam Simmons sets England up, and it's taken on by Don Brandt. Randall will complete the exit, despite Tadhg Beirne throwing himself at the scrum half's right boot.
That's fine, no problem at all, that. Harry Randall good, going for distance, not for the 3-4 seconds. Kick and chase, box kick. Again, now try and put some pressure on. We look at Sam Simmons trying to put some pressure on this Ireland lineup. I think they've dropped it to 5 as well.
Sheehan gets the call, and Ireland find their man down for Gibson Park, and Sexton and Bundyaki, and around the corner comes Sexton again, and it's find its way out to James Lowe, and Lowe pushes off Malins, gets to ground, and Gibson Park goes in search. Sexton once more. Caelan Doris, lovely hands to Tadhg Beirne, but Kyle Sinclair was there, and Ireland had made another mistake. Well, after 6 or 7 pretty impressive minutes from Ireland at the beginning of this game, a couple of errors have crept in, and the momentum, as much through the commitment and ferocity of the English defence, has made errors, and there you see it.
Yeah. And if I was Gibson Park, or if I was Johnny Sexton now, I'd just go, right, lads, OK, made a few errors, just ramp it up. 1 out, I'm just going to give you 1 out, you're going to crash it up. We're going to pod this up the field just to get some consistency back. And then when we've done that, we come back in and play the ball out the back. That's what I would do, because England are reading it at the moment. They're not flying right up in the faces. They're waiting to see what Ireland do. And very most of the time, it's that ball out the back.
We're losing time. Okay.
So they don't want to lose that guy. Just with his throw, it is outstanding. He's probably the best, one of the best accuracy-wise hookers in the world rugby, but also his scrummaging. And England, again, if they've got any chance in this game to come back and to win, you need that front row going full tilt in the tight. That's scrummaging time.
Well, he's seen it all, has Eddie Jones, the 62-year-old, both club and international level. He'll have understood the task today, and now we'll understand better than anyone just how high that bar has been raised.
He's under pressure. He is under massive pressure. You lose today, you lose in Paris. France got out of jail yesterday, but the normal France would have just hightailed it to Aberdare and Merthyr, wouldn't they? Back in the day when they were under pressure here, they dogged it out. It was an ugly win, but they did it. They'll be ready for England. To win a Grand Slam against England in Paris, doesn't get any better for a Frenchman.
And now they have the free England.
Breadfoot, you put back your breadfoot and early engage.
That's freeze, that's scrum and line-out time, and a couple of penalties as well.
And that was the break foot. This is the new rule to help hookers. But obviously the break foot wasn't put out by the Irish hooker Sheehan, and hence that's 3 infringements. Now there's 2 penalties the last 2 scrum, and that was a free kick.
Green on the line.
It's a safety feature.
Not at all, mate.
Sorry. Right, I'm just saying it's come in to help hookers. I was talking about
England now.
Hooker in our club, our junior club, and he said really it doesn't do a great deal, but again, I'm not getting there. It's brought in for a safety purpose, so there you go.
Maro Itoje is a phenomenal athlete. What a great sight, full flight. Jamie George at the back of the wall, and this England pack have settled down to business. There's a lot of muscle in there, and they're going about using every bit of it. Randall at the back of the maul, that hasn't exactly marched forward, but muscled its way forward. And now the scrum half to Sladen now. Marcus Smith and Noel out wide. Andrew Conway is bounced. Ringrose puts the English winger down. Randall once again. Marcus Smith quite deep. England playing it all the way back behind that gain line. Marchant, though, accelerates into space in front of him and gets the pass away. And on England go through Simmons. It's a really good play to get them into the Irish 22. Crowd on their feet. England come roaring back into this one. Advantage being played. Randall. The kick is pointed at, but Keenan is there to stop Genge getting the hold of the ball again. Will go back for the penalty, but that was so much better from England, and don't they love it around headquarters.
They could play it. Sam Simmons applauding there, but he was out on the wing. What a wide and wonderful wing. That's using his space, using his speed. England work it out well. Ball out the back. Marchant chases up there. 2 options. Give it to the number 8 stroke open side now. Bounces low off. Keeps the momentum going. This is what the Twickenham and Faithful want. They want England rolling their sleeves up. They want the forwards doing exactly that. Get out of the way. Sit down. Keep the momentum going. for once, Ireland is scrambling to get back. Harry Randall could have probably just kept that ball in hand. They were playing an advantage, and I wouldn't be surprised England to go into the corner now.
Yeah, the pats on the head for Sam Simmons. And the first rendition of the challenge.
It won't be the last. I just wish there was a second verse. Here we go.
Peter, no, thank you. Time back on, thank you. On the left.
Penalties conceded. I'm just looking now. My fruit machine 2 to England, 5 to Ireland already.
Okay.
This going to go in the corner. Slade just nudges in with his toe. Here we go.
Jamie George and England. First real opportunity to attack Ireland's try line. They go to Itoje, they go to the maul, and George has it. Ireland, good body positions. Cian Healy, Ian Henderson, lock it out.
Use it.
And now they're told to get on with it, and Cian Healy comes around the corner, and Ireland have it through Tadhg Furlong and James Lowe. And downfield it goes. Marcus Smith goes scampering back. Gibson Park and Van der Fleer come up. Jack Noel is there. Big open country over there. But Hugo Keenan has covered the ground really well. And now sees some of the big men in front of him and chooses to attack. And Sexton over the top. It's end to end at Twickenham. Ringrose gets his hands on it. And Ireland are in touch over on the far side. Wow.
I'll double wow you. What a game. What a game. Jamie George is complaining. Cian Healy came round. He's knocked it out. Jamie George is complaining that that's an illegal knockout. I don't know whether the referee wants to have a look at it, but again, it just goes. He is going to the TMO. It's a beautiful offload from Cian.
Who is the captain?
Johnny, but I'm the packet. I'm going to just make 1 point here forwards.
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
So, time is off for the injury.
Okay.
I don't want any more. You player, tell me what I have to do. Okay?
Yeah.
On the last situation, the player bring back the ball backwards. He read the ball in the hand of your player, which is legal for me. Okay? What?
Boys, let's make 1 point if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Just one thing we want to.
That's what I saw in life. What is it?
Just 1 point is we want to get access. We don't have any access to the seam of the jumpers. Yeah, they're closing off the seam for us.
From my view, there is an access to the ball carrier between the two lifters.
Okay.
It's not a clear double band.
Okay.
There is an access. The reason why I let them play, if it's clear, I will penalize
Thanks, sir. Appreciate that.
There is so much going on there. I mean, Matthew Reynaud has 2 captains, a couple of pack leaders, 2 assistants, and a television match official.
And Peter Romani. Where's the access? He's going to be a bouncer when he retires. There's no access to the ball, making access. I love it. This is fantastic. End to end, and every time to Greg. It is an absolutely enthralling game.
No.
Everyone's helping the ref. You've got loose end props.
2 meters.
You feel Matthew Reynaud might want to get a hold of this in terms of the number of voices that are giving him advice. There was contact in the air there, I think.
And the referee said play on, because it wasn't. Otherwise, we're just going to go from pen to pen, and we're not going to enjoy this game as much as, well, we are, because it's superb.
Randall with the exit, and Ireland will get the throw to the line out. Just outside the English 22. Let's just go back in the context of the game. That maul down on Ireland's 5-metre line. Psychologically, that is a huge moment for both teams.
Absolutely. England down to 14 guys in the first minute, so they go over there. They could actually go ahead, and that would be amazing with the territory and possession they've had. Again, but these are the small margins that international rugby, you know, you win or lose a game. You can see Itoje now coming through being an absolute nose. Was he illegal? I don't know. The referee allows him to do that. There you go.
Referee says he was legal. And Jonathan Sexton throws his arms in the air at the assistant over on that far side, who's Pierre Brousset, to say, you've got to be kidding me.
Sexton's just looking at the referee, just without saying anything, says it all. But again, it tells you that legally he's not allowed to do that because he swung up the side straight away.
It's good, it's okay.
But that's the referee. It is a fine line, that's all I will say, Ryle. England need him. England need him. Full ball, full 80 minutes.
Keep your back foot. Bind! Set!
Another big scrum. And again, England seem to have the advantage, and that advantage is confirmed by the referee. Tadhg Furlong is having a look at Mathieu Raynal to say, you're kidding me. And as Genge taps him on the shoulder and suggests he retreat.
The scenario with that is that everyone looks at that and think England obviously have then been given the penalty, the referee's made his decision. But basically you can charge around on the left-hand side, where Noel is now with the blue cap. They actually put all the weight there, so it runs round sort of anti-clockwise like that. This is what they're... This is what the front row of Ireland are appealing against. Basically, you've got to push straight. No one does, obviously, but it's up to the ref. But that's 4 pens, I think. It was definitely 3 pens in the scrum and a free kick from the scrum.
Kyle Sinclair, 51st international cap for him. Jack Noel playing somewhere between wing and wing forward.
But England doing well. They want to take the clock down at every opportunity to play fast when it's on. But actually, they'll know we're down to 14 guys. Just don't fizz the ball around. Just get everything, communication right. Let's get this ball, get it in, get it out.
Ian Henderson trying to do a Maro Itoje, but not doing it either cleverly or legally. And it's another penalty for England. It's penalty number 7.
Yep.
And if you go to the coach's manual and they say all of them to a man, 10 a game is as many as we should be giving away. Well, Ireland have already given away 7 and we haven't hit the half-hour mark. And truthfully, that was about as clear as it needed to be for Mathieu Raynal to award England the penalty.
And everyone appealing to the referee. He's got a hard job at the best of times now. Cian Healy's coming up having a word. Ireland, from an Irish point of view, just needs to keep cool. Nudge this over. Farrell looks on, but nudge this over. It's just a 2-point game, and you wouldn't think, would you? That red mark on the top of England in your top left. For those that have just tuned in, which I hope you haven't tuned in, you tuned in from right from the beginning. That was the red card for Ewell's first minute of the game.
So then, a chance to get England within 2, and he's pushed that one right and wide. Not what anyone here expected from young Marcus Smith, and well, you don't need to be a lip reader to figure out what he thinks of that.
No, he's got to get bounced back, doesn't matter. All the good ones missing. Well, this will be going downtown, I'm sure. Ooh, interesting.
Reclaimed by Andrew Conway. Caelan Doris flicks it on. Bundyaki. Pass goes to Gary Ringrose. And Ringrose has a little look up and forces the kick through, but the referee has seen another penalty.
10 in front of the kicker.
Ireland in front of the kicker. Jonathan Sexton, the one who's penalised. And Ireland, well, truthfully, after a really impressive opening 10 minutes, and taking that momentum of the sending off of Ewell, they started well anyway, but this is uncharacteristic, and truthfully, you feel like they're forcing it.
They are a little bit, and they've got all the experience. You got Marnie out there, you got Sexton out there, you got enough experience to say, hold on a second, 8 penalties now to 2. And we're not getting any, we've got the foothold in the earlier part of this game, we're not getting it, we're just coughing ball up. Sladle, I'm sure, put this into the corner. And things aren't going well in the scrum, rightly or wrong, it doesn't matter. The ref's making the decisions, so you've just got to go. So I don't think get Sexton to have a word with him. He's having a go at goals. Here we go.
On the kick. or you can have
and actually that's taken down another minute, so it works in both ways.
Okay,
so what you tell me, Mario? How many meters? Captain, the penalty is 5 meters in front. You want to take it?
yes, please.
Yeah. Slowly.
No, it's
Sorry.
not in front, it's to the goal line.
Okay.
Now, and you know what that does? It makes a change in the thought process of who takes the kick, because it's now in comfortable range for Marcus Smith. Henry Slade had been lining up the kick, but the Exeter outside centre decided 5 metres shorter. That's Marcus's territory, and we'll give it to him.
I thought he said touch line as in coming towards, obviously, touch line down the bottom. Goal line is 5 metres in front. Yeah, and he's missed one, he's got one, missed one. England need this now.
So, having fluffed his lines last time around, an opportunity for Marcus Smith to bounce back immediately and get England to within 2. And it's a mark of the young man that he does so, and does so with confidence and comfort. And England are within 2. And considering the challenge that has faced them since the opening minute of this game, 2 minutes down after 33 minutes, 2 points down, I should say, after 33 minutes. Well, he won't be unhappy at all, Eddie Jones, as much about the attitude of England as the performance.
Well, there's a lot of heart there. You can see that sometimes, well, there's no option, is there? It's just to play out of your skin. You've got to really put in your 100% best game of all time.
Toje goes to round, Henderson the one to make the tackle.
Stay back. Back the line. Peter, back the line.
Ireland got to get themselves back in this game now.
Back the line.
Randall took a little bit to sort his feet out, but gets the kick away. Really well taken in traffic by Hugo Keenan. Gibson Park, Tyke Furlong. And he goes route 1. Gets a knee to ground, means it's a tackle. It's got to be released, and it's there for Sheehan Sexton. Then Andrew Conway and Itoje, like a goalkeeper, just reaches out and puts a big paw in the way, knocks it off its trajectory and into touch. Ireland will get the throw to the line out.
Highland.
Again, Ireland fancying that blind side. Well, again, it was from an Ireland point of view, nice to see tackle and just take it up. Just give me that ball, one out, and I'm just going to ramp it up.
Dan Sheehan down for Gibson Park. Bundyaki with Ringrose on his shoulder. Slade is the one who meets him. Sexton back inside to Caelan Doris. Courtney Laws quickly back to his feet, having made the tackle. Sexton, there's all sorts of movement out there for Ireland, but England reading it all and setting Ireland back a couple of metres. Van der Fleer runs into Simmons.
High tackle.
It's a penalty for a high tackle against England. Tyke Byrne
under
meters,
right?
advantage. Free rein. Conway out the back door to Dan Sheehan. Good feet from the hooker to get away from the tackle of Malins, and Lowe is on his shoulder. Maro Itoje goes in search of the ball.
Stop.
No advantage will accrue. Back will go for the high tackle.
Itoje is a freak of nature. How on earth he actually got his body down and nicked that ball? I know it doesn't count because we're going back for an advantage. Unbelievable. But he did give the high tackle away. That's the propensity that he's got, unfortunately, sometimes. Again, he's ducking down. It is not dangerous. No. It could have been. It could have been stupid, clumsy, and he could have gone off. But again, the referees just said, right, enough of that silliness. But that's what he does. He does give pens away because he's like that. He's 100% all the time. You happy with that decision there?
Absolutely. No, I think in some ways I think that might even be harsh against Itoje. Yeah. 424 metres made great statistic if you're an Irish attack coach. But only 8 points on the board.
But it ain't matter now, as long as the darts are right, the catcher gets it right, and you execute the next phase. And now he's given a few pens to Ireland. Here you go.
Free kick to Ireland for England, closing the gap in the line-out on that occasion. Gibson Park, Cian Healy. Sheehan. George slips off the first tackle, allows Ireland to get going forward. Cian Healy, though, can't control it. Ireland get the penalty. Gibson Park allowed to take it quickly. Ireland are almost there. Hugo Keenan! Ireland in for their second try. Quick penalty taken. Referee happy to let it go. And Ireland get another one.
And why not let it go? Perfectly legal. See the referee's bringing it back. Oh, he wasn't quite on the spot by 6 inches.
Especially their ball.
And that was, they were offside. Basically, Cian smashing that ball in. Again, it goes forward, but they were offside, deemed offside. Gibson Park, as ever, is on there. And Keenan, beautiful finish. Again, bounced a few tackles. And again, all that yardage. Again, and England come back into the game. What you need is that precision in the 22. Come away, they know all about it. You get down there, you execute your kill move, and they've done that.
Try as good is the voice of Marius Jonker from the television match officials booth. South African confirming that Ireland have their second try. Sexton then missed the first conversion of the James Lowe try. England out through Jack Noel to try and charge it down. Perfectly legal, doesn't put Sexton off. Up go the flags. Okay. Ireland lead it by 15 points to 6.
What a time to score. Again, it's a great line from Keenan. There you go. He asked the referee. England thinking that Ireland will just take the 3 because they've been so behind for the last 10 minutes. None of it.
No, almost away. Still there for England. Genge runs into Sexton and Ringrose. England looking to bounce back, get some points on the board to add to the 6 they already have before the half-time break. Freddie Stewart into the Irish 22, all coming from the restart, from the gather of Jack Noel. Will Stewart into the game. More on him later. Right now it's about Marcus Smith, it's about Dombrandt, it's about England going in search of more points in the final minute of this first half. Where is it? Randall has it. Itoje, Tyke Byrne, and Henderson goes after the ball, but he's off his feet. He has to leave it alone. Doesn't leave it alone. It's another penalty for England. It's a cheap one given away by Henderson. He didn't need to do it, and England will gratefully receive those.
They will. They're exerting a hell of a lot of pressure out there. I think they will go for 3. We've seen as the clock is nearly at 40. Smith won't miss this one. But again,
here I'm agreeing that when the ball is available,
Mac Hansen moment, wasn't it, with Jack Noel up there against France? You remember that when France had just scored a try and Ireland came straight back at them. Mac Hansen not even on the bench today. Look at that, nearly. Noel does get it the second grasp. Runs into Bundyaki.
Okay, thank you.
This can't be any fun.
Straight after the kick.
No, not full tilt. That Henderson doesn't need to do that again. Video analysis on Monday, whatever, but that's just stupid. I mean, it's actually buying. In a sense, he could have had a yellow card because it's a professional foul with the amount of phases that England were, England putting together. In a sense, he's stopping him getting 5, maybe 7 points. Give him 3. If he was 5 meters out, he would have done in yellow.
Final act of a first half that's had a little bit of everything. Marcus Smith adds another 3. and England have 9. They only have 14 players on the pitch, but they have acquitted themselves really well. Ireland still lead it though, and lead it by 15 points to 9.
Sky Sport has the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup.
My goodness me, a moment of brilliance!
Live in Aotearoa. Let's go. White Ferns, Australia. Today live on Sky Sport 3. Coverage proudly brought to you by ANZ.
There's not much food left as it is. You saying you're more important than everyone else here?
Crisis below.
That thing is called a giant ground slot.
Crisis above.
There is someone I know. There's no pilot I trust more. You bring my family home.
You got my word.
Danger all around.
What do you see, Captain?
Tonight, all new La Brea Prime.
The IndyCar Series is heating up as the fastest drivers in the world look to push the limit in No Limit, Texas.
Scott McLaughlin is now an IndyCar race winner.
Oh boy, thank you so much.
Scott Dixon wins back-to-back years and wins at Texas. Oh boy, Ward. Pato O'Ward is an IndyCar winner.
Who will take the first oval victory this season? The IndyCar Series, Texas, live on Sky Sport.
Eden Park in Auckland has become a fortress for the All Blacks, unbeaten here in 27 years, unbeaten here against Australia in 35 years. Off it goes for Mo'unga. Now McKenzie ducks in behind Ioane, but well contained on the 10-metre line, and the ball again for Aaron Smith. Now Mo'unga for Havili. Leonard Brown could open up here, tipped on, but Salvia's knocked it on this time. So both teams guilty of early mistakes in the first 10 minutes of the game. And this time the All Blacks win the scrum penalty. James Slipper can't believe it. Mo'unga looking for first points in the game. And over it goes. And the All Blacks on the board. Away it goes to Whitelock. And the Wallabies meet him.
Holding in front now,
Now the clearance from Mo'unga. Again, good distance. Banks almost was 22. Hit him on the head, I think. And they're going to play on. No, they're not.
That could be a penalty, couldn't it? Knock on, guys.
Trying to put a bit of pressure on. Now releases Smith. They're playing under advantage. McKenzie got away from one. Taken down, playing under this penalty advantage. Savia driven down in the tackle, but this advantage will go on for some time, no doubt, as Whitelock throws it behind McKenzie. It's all very untidy.
Nothing coming there, guys.
And they'll have to go back for the penalty. No problem at all for Mo'unga. Now Retallick. Mo'unga. Havili, beautiful pass to McKenzie. Ducks under a high one and stands on his feet. Damien McKenzie. Wallabies, though, have turned this over.
Michael Hooper, brilliant.
Now off it goes to Jordan Petaia out on the right wing side. So both sides making errors. As McDermott away for Swain. McDermott in it for his quick clearance, but not getting much chance here. And in fact, struck it well, struck it beautifully, and kicks his third penalty goal. Richie Mo'unga right out in front of the goalpost, 20 metres away, as McDermott goes for a little burst and a head-high tackle as he ducked low, but I think Retallick might have gone
just high by 4.
around the neck. Doesn't take much time over it and bangs it through. So the Wallabies are finally on the board. Boy, that's not straight. That's gone down the All Black side, but Paisami. And here's Callaway. And the Wallabies are in. Andrew Callaway.
Oh, what a try. What a try from the Wallabies. He finds a nice gap. Look who's on the inside. Callaway supporting, as every good winger should. And he's got enough speed to get himself over. Outstanding try for the Wallabies.
So Taylor throws quickly. Whitelock himself wins it. Taylor has the ball at the back. Yes. The All Blacks are making progress, and very good progress too. Over the 5-metre line they go. Taylor hangs on, but he loses his footing. Tries to go again. Can't quite get there, so now Smith ready to release. Whitelock has moved to his left. And now the Wallabies are offside. Ioane stands over the ball.
Hands up!
There it is this time for Savia. Really close. And a try is scored by Sevu Reece.
Oh, great try. Persistence from the All Blacks.
Now Smith slings it off to Whitelock. Nowhere to go, though. Hooper was up on him like a shot. So Smith looking for some more runners, and he finds Mo'unga, who puts Leonard Brown into a gap. Now there's a chance for Ioane. Slings a wild pass, beautifully pulled in. Now Retallick. Retallick to Havili. Away it goes for Savia. Now Reece. Oh, what a try that is. Sevu Reece. And the All Blacks score.
Brilliant.
Coming to you from your referral. On-field decision, obviously try.
I would agree with it.
Yeah, it's more the marginal, Smithy.
Well, he's right there, Paul Williams, isn't he? I mean, no one's got a better view than him.
Yeah, Glenn, so it's...
the Wallabies are getting back to a scrum already.
We've got that forward out of the hand.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, mate.
So one of the great tries becomes a non-try. Patient build-up here. Now they get it away. Lolosio spinning in the tackle was James Slipper. Ball available though. Now Paisami intercept Mo'unga. They won't pull him back, I don't reckon. Richie Mo'unga under the bar he goes.
Oh, they missed out on one before where he started. The Wallabies, they'll be disappointed with that because they needed a bit more patience. Paisami, he decided to go over the top. Where Richie Mo'unga, he was defending out wide. They made some massive inroads.
Slings it across to Taylor.
Advantage.
Playing an advantage here. The Wallabies offside. Smith again. Whitelock in midfield.
Have the advantage, 9.
Smith now right up the middle go the All Blacks. Now Smith looking to deliver. Goes with a beautiful pass for David Havili. And he scores. Oh, the pass from Aaron Smith. Dalton Papali'i.
Not tackled.
Good run by the number 7. As the All Blacks try and clean out. Wallabies didn't clear out though, and the All Blacks very close there. Now they're going to have another go. Smith wants it, reckons blindside's the answer, and it is the answer for Damien McKenzie.
Quality pass once again from Aaron Smith.
Release straight away.
Now Matt Phillip very close to the line. Defining moments in this game here. Quick pass. Right out in front, still playing under this penalty advantage. Now the short pass. Valentini, I think it is, having a go. Ball is still there on the Wallaby side. Now they go wide. Lolosio, they've got to score, and they do, through Tom Banks.
He's had a massive impact on here for the Wallabies. He's brought energy as well. And a nicely executed try in the end.
His 100th game has come to an end. It will be a winning game. He's going to get one of your silver caps, Mills. Brad Weber on in 21. Outstanding performance. is passing close to the line.
Here's Matt Tamua. Now Gordon. Away for Lolosio. Drops a little kick in. What a beauty it is too. And Banks is going to get a couple. Wow. Tom Banks.
And this is what I'm talking about. Don't give up. Look at that. Lolosio. Oh, this just add to his experience. He snipes out like he sees it. No one's in behind him, but look at that end-to-end kick. It just curves out the other side.
Line out throw. Won by Phillip. Wallabies one last shot at this.
Yep.
Welesi. Still got it. And off he goes. And over he goes. Wallabies score again.
Through David Havili initially, and then another couple of players coming in behind. Artie Sevilla, Sam Whitelock couldn't stop him.
As Lolosio tries to add to and does so right at the death. Makes the conversion, but the game is over. And the All Blacks have the win at Eden Park in the first of 3 Bledisloe Cup Test matches, 33-25.
Kids, it's dinner time.
Dinner time, my favorite nighttime meal.
Why does nobody come in through the front door?
Dearest mother and father, we will not be attending this evening's ritual mastication.
What?
They're both growing up so fast. They wouldn't be caught dead with their parents.
Wait a minute.
What?
I've got it, Tish. It's hideous. It's monstrous. It's the old Adams camper. It's time for some family bonding.
What? Huh?
We are going on a road trip.
This is cruel, even for you.
Let's roll! This trip will bring the Adams closer than ever before.
Let's make some memories.
It's just us and the wonderful sound of silence.
Now that's grand.
The Addams Family 2, coming soon.
Ah, here he is!
The depths of the sea, back to the black Snoop Doggy Dogg, monkey and
It's good to see you, my bewhiskered cousin.
I still don't understand a word that guy says.
Where's Kitty?
He and it hit the catnip pretty hard last night.
It's time to go. Let's go.
Oh, this is unbelievable! That kind of get me out, boy. This is incredible.
It's the power of Pacific. DHL Super Rugby Pacific. Today live on Sky Sport.
So Jonathan Sexton makes his way from the changing room area, leads Ireland back out, and you feel the two coaches, although they are trailing, Eddie Jones will be the happier Danny Morris.
He will, but again, he'll know it's an understatement. It was a massive 40 minutes now for England. With just Jurgen Sinclair's not coming back. But anyway, Ireland won't stop playing the way they will. Their biggest concern for Andy Farrell is the penalty count. England only given 4 penalties away, Ireland given 9. That's what's kept England in the game. It's whether England and Eddie Jones, yes, he will be delighted at the endeavour, the heart and all that. Well, that should go with the territory. He got playing with an England shirt on. We see Stewart taking over from Sinclair there. He had a bit of a knock in the week, I believe, Sinclair. So, to cut a long story short, it's England have just got to carry on with their 14-man attempt to climb a very big Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So then, Matthew Linnell gets us underway at the start of this second half at Twickenham. Round 4 of the Guinness Six Nations, and England get a hold of the ball from the restart and punch a hole through Dombrandt. And if they can get the first points of this second half, well, psychologically, what an enormous impact that could have on this game. Marcus Smith is growing and warming to the task. Freddie Stewart takes it up. England trying to pick up where a lot of that first half was. Ian Henderson needs to be careful, giving away a couple of cheap penalties. England very much on the hunt for the early points. Who's going to win possession? It's won by Ireland. I think it was Tadhg Furlong who got down, the big man got down to win possession. Caelan Doris slips and runs into the tackle of Dombrandt, and Ireland have secured the ball again.
Back the line, please. Don't hold him.
Worth noting, in the 22 previous Six Nations games between these sides, never has the side losing at half-time been able to turn it around. What England are looking to do is to do that for the first time, and to do it with 14.
Well, if they carry on doing, that's a tremendous kick-off from England's point of view. They've retained that ball. Dombrandt does what he does for Harlequins, and now doing for England. Well overdue as far as I'm concerned. He's needed to be given more game time prior to this game, but anyway, that's just one mistake. You see all on Endeavour, all that good, what was it, 2, 5, 6, 7 phases, whatever, just go, because one precision pass didn't come quite to go to hand.
Ball is there for Smith again, into the air is the decision. It's a good kick. It's going to land just outside the 22, but Hugo Keenan, along with Freddie Stewart, it has to be said, the two have been pretty impressive under the high ball. And this man is pretty impressive in open play. James Lowe scored an absolute scorcher end-to-end for Leinster a couple of weeks ago. Looks to try and do so for Ireland as well. Here's Sexton, as Ireland get their first opportunity to attack. Another try, a third try, and surely the mountain would just be too high for England in this second half. They'll know that. Lowe is cut down, and it's Marchant who makes the tackle. Henderson back inside, big second row steps, Andrew Conway. And now Van der Fleer, Genge completes the tackle for England. Sexton once more, Ringrose. James Lowe has got his hands on the ball 3 or 4 times during this passage of play. But the ball is knocked forward, and England have it, and they've scrambled back, and they've dealt with that threat from Ireland really well. Tadhg Beirne after the ball. Randall, well, he had time, and there was an English hand in there, and Ireland not going to hang around Gibson Park for the second time. Ireland take the penalty and take it quickly. Sheehan sets it up. Gibson Park for Ian Henderson. They're pounding at the door. Noel makes the tackle on Van der Fleer, but he drives the legs. The red scrum cap held up inches short of the English line. Jonathan Sexton, Gary Ringrose. Ringrose steps back inside. 1-2. English players there to meet him. Randall and Maro Itoje, but it's another green wave.
Got to go left.
Gibson Park. Sexton, great tackle. Jamie George, super effort from the hooker, knocks Ireland's momentum. Van der Fleer, Maro Itoje makes the tackle. Gibson Park, Keenan, Tadhg Beirne. Beirne has Henderson, but the ball doesn't go to hand, and England scramble and fight and find a way of stopping Ireland. And it is a mighty relief around Twickenham.
Unbelievable from England, defensively wise. You just think that when I said left then, all it had to go was through the hands. I think it was 5-2. 5-2 overlap going left. Unfortunately, England's line speed was brilliant. Jamie George is up there. He snuffles that fire out. And again, they're just throwing everything at Ireland now. Tadhg Beirne tries to get the offload going. Unfortunately, Henderson can't quite get there. The diminutive figure of Harry Randall just pounces on the ball and just says, go and have a break. But again, you've got to say Lowe is carving up England as Cuthbert did for Wales, what, a couple of weeks ago. You know, he's getting more space because there's only 14 England defenders because Eales has been sent off in the first minute. I know that, but he is a potent threat all over the place. I thought he was going to chip over the top at one point. Decided to do this, well, possibly the sensible thing. Keep hold of the ball, keep the pressure on England.
No, boss. Guys, is it? No, boss. You are both pre-engaged, so we need a space.
So we're not moving, sir. We're not moving.
Don't move, okay? Keep the control. We need a space.
So make it obvious for him.
So then this will be interesting. Scrum a real weapon for England in that first half, but a change in that front row with Will Stewart in for Kyle Sinclair. Will that make a difference? Not in the referee's mind. He penalises Ireland. Straight penalty. Cian Healy with a shake of the head. Courtney Laws and England will gratefully accept.
That's a penalty.
That's early engaged there. Jamie George, I think, bought that one brilliantly. He said, we will do this slowly. Put the foot down. The hooker's got to put his right foot in Jamie George's case forward. He did that, and now it's gone Ireland into an early push. You're not allowed to. So England, yeah, you can pat yourselves on the back. Jamie George can pat himself on the back.
Your mark. England. Here.
2 meters, sir.
Who would be a coach?
There you go. Says it all. Dan Sheehan, I think, has had a brilliant game. Doesn't agree.
Maro Itoje has been everywhere. He's been the heartbeat for England in the opening 46.5 minutes of this game. George at the back. And then England up the jumper into the maul. And away comes Jamie George. Thought about the pass inside. Instead he had Dumbrat on his shoulder. And Marcus Smith calls for it in a little show, but no go because Caelan Doris and Ian Henderson are there. Chip over the top for Andrew Conway to deal with, and he did so well. Good kick, really good kick from Andrew Conway. Boy, did that bounce go in his favour. What about that? Little smile. Yeah. Not sure that he meant it. Well, of course I say he did.
One of the 6 changes that Andy Farrell made. I've got to say, England have to play very tight. They played very tight to this touchline, but Harry Randall, I don't think he needs just to kick ball away like that. Yes, this was a fluke. You can say that. You were going for grass. That bounce of the rugby ball, we know it's hard to predict. And because of that, you give possession away. A little bit of luck comes you a free kick, and off Gibson Park goes.
He takes it quickly, Van der Fleer. Oh, sit down, says Genge. Gibson Park, Tyke Furlong. Bundy Aki, Ireland trying to force it into a forward pass. And every mistake is now cheered around Twickenham. The adrenaline is pumping through players and crowd alike. They believe that they can escape from this.
It's turned into American football, isn't it? The yelling, that is a massive hit from Genge on Fleer. Big ball carrier.
We keep a space.
9 tackles I'm hearing from Genge. And this was the forward pass. Again, chopped in 2. Sam Simmons.
Let's go.
Dowie, Ireland are guilty of forcing this, aren't they?
Yeah. And that's where I think just watching Johnny Sexton came on, just calm it down. As England were whipping it, that's what they've got to do. They've got to whip it up. They've got to try and get everyone on the same sort of playlist in a sense. So we've got to just try and get into everywhere. Whereas Johnny Sexton, hold on lads, we're just blowing things now. Just take it back a little bit. A bit like when they went out of 13 men against Italy. All of a sudden, you know, they weren't as precise.
England looking to get the squeeze on. And then Ireland buckle a little. Cian Healy comes up and the referee says we'll go again.
And this is where Cian Healy is asking, we're straight, and then all of a sudden England come round the side. So what are we supposed to do? I do understand that because Ireland are not about scrummaging side overnight. They've come into
one more than the other one, okay? You sidestep a little bit and you bind on his arm. So I want a long bind by you, and I want you to stay straight. Is that clear enough? Okay? Both of you.
So, let's go, boys.
2 of the best in the business.
Well, they come in with the best stats in the liner and scrums, Ireland, so you don't get bad overnight. So it's whether, you know, again, it's analysts' work. All right, if we do this, this referee may give that penalty because he's done that in the past. You know, all I know, he's given a lot of penalties to England at the set piece.
Come on, wait.
Crutch!
But even just with 30 minutes to go, this is crucial. I think the try is still favourite. Who scores next, you know, and all that. Ireland get ahead, England don't come back from there. England get a try, they do.
And England get a penalty. and they're on their feet at Twickenham. He's put in some shift.
He's tackling like a back row. He's scrummaging like a pro. That's what he gets paid the big money for. This is soul destroying from Ireland, because that is straight. 5 scrum penalties now, and that is fine. That is going straight. England are going forward. Ireland can't handle it. But how long can these boys in white keep that up?
Well, there were some question marks coming into this game about the sense of team that England had under Eddie Jones. You would say after 50 minutes that the sense of team is significantly more positive than had been thought or reported, because they've gone after this like a group who really believe in themselves.
Yeah, and I think when you go down to 14, sometimes in the face of adversity, you do. You said, well, there's only one way to go from here, lads. And, are you going to play for your coach? Are you going to play for your loved ones? Are you going to play well today on that 50 minutes? And you just said they are. They're still behind. Plenty of time to come, but again, they're scrapping for everything.
Ramble down on our side. Marcus Smith attacks the space, and Jack Noel, who's been on the side of scrums at the back of lineouts and on the wing right now where he was selected. Genge, who's becoming the cult hero of the efforts from England so far. Slade and Simmons runs into some strong tackling from Ireland in midfield, led by Bundyaki and assisted by Jonathan Sexton. Smith to the air. So far, the fullbacks have managed all that's been asked of them, and Hugo Keenan continues that trend, but England get numbers there and get over the ball. And this place has gone nuts.
They've got to keep it going for 29 minutes. But again, that's the only option for England down to 14. Ireland's defence is suffocating. They can't go left, they can't go right. They have to go the aerial route. They have to go kick to compete. Keenan is like one of the best underneath the high ball. Takes it. But the charge and the rush from England is so absorbing. Look at that. Stewart just waits. Marching is there, holding on to the ball. He gets his hands on the ball, hence the penalty. Everything has to be precise, and England are doing that.
Please.
3 points takes it to 12-15. As I said, plenty of time.
Looking down as Marcus Smith lines this one up to the replacements benches, and one has already been sprung in Will Stewart. Ben Youngs comes into the game now as well. Youngs in for Harry Randall.
Well, this might suit England because Ben has experience, obviously. Most capped England player of all times. His box kicking and whatever. You don't have to have quick passes now to survive this game or to get yourself ahead in this game. You've just got to be pretty clued into what you need to do, and that's good.
Over it goes from Marcus Smith. And he, you feel, is beginning to believe, and he looks a little shook as Ireland reach to their bench and go for Herring. And Hooker and Kilcoyne, the man in shot, will take over from Cian Healy. Dan Sheehan, who's gone for Rob Herring.
Well, they got plenty of experience on the bench. These guys have seen it, done it, whatever. Ireland share in the province search, so again, they're not going to be rattled, but they just need to get their hands on the ball. At the moment, England are dictating things.
So then Ben Young's 116 international caps. Hugo Keenan through traffic, can't get there. Jack Noel can. Andrew Conway's taking a bang, stays down. Youngs will dig it out and go for Act 2. Sexton awaits, and Otoje line them up from outside the 22 and absolutely stuffed him. Furlong. Somehow Ireland need to get a grip of this game. They have the lead, the slenderest of leads.
Captain,
they have the additional player, 15 against 14, but England have all the momentum and all the belief it would seem. Freddie Stewart. Ireland get the penalty, just what they needed. In there, over the ball, was Caelan Doris.
And that's how you relieve the pressure, by one lad just biding his time. Again, all England players were passing and were actually pointing to Marcus Smith. Give the ball to Marcus Smith. Stewart decided to take it in, and again, he just got isolated a split second. Ireland are the best at stopping ball getting out of Rex. Their Rex speed is one of the highest in the game. Sexton is back to shaking his head, but he'd be relieved with that. It just takes the time down a little bit. There was a push, what he's complaining about. When that ball went up in the air from the high up and under from Young's first box kick, there was a push from Noel. I think Conway's back, and then Conway went into someone. Was it Herring, the hooker, I think? Well, obviously, he made contact.
Sexton's penalty dispatched just outside the English 22. David Hill-Coyne, 47th international, gives the call to Ulster's Rob Herring, winning his 25th international cap. And Ty Byrne climbs, and England have the penalty. Ireland crossing in that line out.
And second, England on the side, because there is a double back.
And England have the penalty, and Ireland are looking at each other, and they are utterly confused by what's going on out there.
Well, England just seem to be the fitter, the brighter, the more energetic side at the moment. Just remember, they were down to 14 guys after 1 minute. Yule's off, Byrne goes in there, and it's Henderson again. It's this guy in front of the jumper. You're not allowed to do it. Again, as I said many times in these Six Nations games, 9 times a day, 10 times a day, you get away with it. That referee is not going to allow that, because probably Mario Toji or Jamie Judd said, watch out for that ref, watch out, they're being smart, England.
Jamie George, as the penalty count hits 13 for Ireland. Youngs and Smith into the air once more. Keenan will go high and gather just. England after it and get the turnover to a knock forward. They might get more. Ball is protected. Referee blows the whistle. You almost can't hear the whistle, such as the noise.
I have never heard Twickenham like this. I am being absolutely serious. I know everyone likes to talk it up. This place is erupting at the moment, because you can see these guys in white. Just 14 of them. They're just clawing their way back into this game. That's 2 kicks now from Marcus Smith. It's the only way they're going to bust this Irish defence, is put this ball up. Kick to compete when they're doing that. Keenan's taken it twice now, and straight away they're on it. Simmons is just over the top. Not quite exactly sure who gets there first, but Stewart's there again. Simmons is definitely there. Keenan does well just to hold on, but it doesn't matter. It's advantage England. England have got to put it in the scrum, and we all know how England strengthen the scrum. Mario Toji's like Superman.
Don't pull him back, okay? Don't touch him.
Right then. Where to from here? That's the Irish 22. England have options both ways, albeit with depleted numbers. Jack Noel again into that.
Well, I think they'll just go for a pen. Sorry, Ron, I think they'll just go for a push. It's in the referee's mind now. Was it 5 scrum pens or whatever they've got, and a free kick, I'm sure.
It is indeed 5 scrum penalties. Paul O'Connell, write a picture.
What they do for having him out there now. Keep your head with all those illusionaires and blaming it on you. Big scrum. Or it could be the bluff. Simmons' pace going up the blind side with Young's. Marcus Smith's right behind the scrum. Could be a bluff.
Oh, stop to speak and do your job, okay?
Genge and Furlong having a right old ding-dong, and in truth Genge has been the one that's got the upper hand in the referee's mind since the first minute, although Furlong did get the first penalty, if you have a memory that goes back that far.
That's all that matters.
It's been all Genge as far as that referee is concerned in the right and Furlong in the wrong. huge moment in the context of this game as we approach the hour mark. And the referee awards England a penalty, and they'll come back and they'll kick a goal in an attempt to draw the sides level. And Ireland are going to get a lecture.
Listen in.
There is too many infringements in scrum, okay? Your prop, you lose it, call up the scrum. There is too many infringements. I penalize. I penalize many times on a row, so now you have a walk with the player. I need to play better scrum, okay? You lose that on the opposite side.
There you go, it's the loosehead's fault. All I know is Marcus Smith is going to line a kick it from the 22 right in front of the post, which will put England ahead by a point. No, they won't. They'll draw. My God, I'm getting too excited. Yeah, shut up, Morris. They'll draw at 15-all. You're going to get 4 points for a penalty now. You do at Twickenham when you're down to 14 men. It's a new rule. Calm down. God, this place, unbelievable.
The clock ticks past the hour mark. Marcus Smith with the opportunity to land his 5th penalty of the evening. 5 threes, 15 points for England, 15 points for Ireland, and after a minute, well, nobody saw this one.
Nobody saw this one, and no one is going to be leaving this place until the final minute, that is for sure. Where would you rather be? Ireland, England? Ah, my word.
Peter O'Mahony has made way in his place comes Jack Conan, the British and Irish Lions, test number 8.
Who else but Mario Itoje picks that out of the sky?
Youngs to the sky again. Hugo Keenan, it's rained down on him, particularly in this second half. He's caught it, but England have caught him, forced him into touch. Noel, well, you look around the English squad, I was just about to say Noel has been outstanding, but all 14 that have been out there have been outstanding and led by that man, Maro Itoje.
They've had to be. Ireland have been good with Ireland were good in phases, but they've not been able to put anything together because everything England do, putting the ball in the air, 3-4 seconds, they chase as a pack of wild dogs.
Use it!
To the air once more, this time through the boot of Slade. Forward comes Andrew Conway to gather the ball, but again, England come with numbers. Jonathan Sexton, Ireland have barely seen the ball out wide in this second half, but James Lowe and Ringrose get a hold of it. Ball is kicked straight down the throat to Stewart. He's hit as he kicks. Nothing in that as much as the crowd might like there to be. Conway already came up with a fantastic 50-22, and he's come up with another one. Andrew Conway. Well, if the first one might have been a bit fortuitous, the second one most definitely is not.
Well, Lowe's been the biggest strike threat throughout this game, and that's about the first time I think in the second half that he's got the ball in his hands, or probably the second time. Conway on this wing can't do a thing wrong with his kicking into touch. And the game is just flipping and flapping like that. England not doing anything wrong. Everyone thought it was a penalty for Stewart, just running the ball back. It wasn't. It's a perfectly good tackle from Lowe. Puts the ball down there to Conway. Conway kicks into the corner. Over to you, Roll.
Ireland don't control it, but just about hold on to possession. Van der Fleer is wrapped up by Courtney Lawes. He needs to get himself out of there, and does. Kilcoyne on the charge. Ireland, this is their first real opportunity in the second half to go after this English try line. Bundyaki, Gibson Park, Tyke Furlong, wall of white in front of him, led by Laws. Itoje there as well. Ireland gets the ground. Ball should be there for Gibson Park. It is Van der Fleer. Ireland have men both sides. Herring one of them. Good angle from the hooker. Just held up short. Gibson Park looks one way. Mago the narrower of the two sides. Sexton is picked off, and away goes Freddie Stewart. But we're going to come back. We're going to come back. It won't count. Wow. Again.
We're having everything here. Ireland were bashing down the door. Nail after nail after nail after nail, and England were just hitting them out. Tackling for their lives. Again, Gibson Park's options all over. You can see Tack Furley wanting the ball from. Give it to me on the right underneath the post. Then he goes.
I want to check it. Marius, please.
Hold on, we're checking something, right?
Looking at the last ruck.
Yeah, the last ruck. I just want to check it for be sure. Number 4, ball is available, and he hold back the hand of the scrum half, and the scrum half cannot play it. So can we double check, please?
Okay, we're last ruck up through.
Okay, television match official again, Marius Junker, along with.
So I'm saying it's Itoje is holding back somebody who can't.
Infringement here.
A cynical infringement, professional foul, basically. 5 metres from your line, you're holding someone back that probably could affect the, well, whatever.
We could be looking at a yellow card.
It's a yellow card if it's found. He just wants the check, obviously, because this is the game.
Maro
Itoje. I love him. He lives on that line, and that line is yes, positive or negative. Here we go.
So Gibson Park is in there, has his hands on the ball, and he's dragged forward slightly. We talked about...
Yeah, scrum half don't have the hand on the ball, right?
Let's hear. Yeah, he had his hands on the ball, and Itoje picks up his hand. I mean, that happens in so many breakdowns.
It's a penalty kick.
Yeah, there's nothing clear and obvious there, Jude. Nothing clear and obvious.
Yeah, penalty is the decision and no more.
Well, thank goodness for Timo, thank goodness for sensible refereeing. Because I think he was, like you said, there was a card coming out.
And the crowd don't like it, but I think when they get an opportunity to have a look at that one a little more closely, they'll accept that a penalty is probably the right decision. Well, most of them will.
It's a pen, but you've got to silent blue that again, because they should just calm down a little bit. It's difficult because these boys are playing like the good old phrase, wasn't it, when they win the World Cup, white orcs. They're just on a different level this afternoon. They've had to be just to stay in this game the way that Ireland started it. But this guy will know, just calm it, take 3. We ain't played particularly well apart from those first bursts. They've got 2 tries.
So then, opportunity for Ireland to get their first points of this second half. Jonathan Sexton restores Ireland's lead. England 15, Ireland 18. And a change for Ireland in midfield as Robbie Henshaw comes in and Bundee Aki makes way. There he is, Robbie Henshaw, 56 international caps. Marcus Smith to the sky. Gary Ringrose secures possession. And that's a marginal win for Ireland because they've struggled to secure possession from restarts from England, particularly in this second half. After this goes Conway. Marcus Smith is there, deals with it, but he's put to ground by Henshaw.
And that's, again, it's good from Ireland. Gibson Park, they hide Marcus Smith on the left-hand wing. They don't want him in the midfield when the big runners are up against him. England are trying to... Oh, use Joe Marler's on. Launchbury's on.
Yeah. Joe Marler comes in. Genge makes way. And there is Joe Marler. cap number 78, and in also comes Joe Launchbury, and it's Dombrandt who makes way. Dombrandt on from very early, and he's replaced by Joe Launchbury. Not often you see a substitute being substituted, but there you go.
Substitution?
No, but again, talking about Marcus Smith, unfortunately, they hide him on this left-hand side. It was. That's TMO getting involved again.
White ball.
Marcus Smith had said, I pushed the ball in, it came off an Irish hand. There you go. If it's there, use it.
White ball.
Well, here it is. Robbie Henshaw. Marcus Smith got it away, and it comes off the boot of Andrew Conway.
Yep.
Jamie George, Maro Itoje, and the English maul. A couple of English players going to ground. The referee keeps his arms by his sides. Courtney Laws back on his feet, and Ben Youngs. Is it going to go high? No, it's not. It's going to be held on to. Marcus Smith around the corner. Henshaw stuck a leg out, and it stopped the momentum of that ball getting away. Ireland put it through the hands, and Conway, if that goes outside full,
outside the 22.
It is. It's another mistake from Ireland, an unforced error, and it gives England the platform of the line out just outside the Irish 22.
Time off.
Dealt with it well to there.
Yeah, do it, Chris.
Conway having put in two crackers. Well, that wasn't what they needed. Ireland going to make another change. Conor Murray, vastly experienced. Conor Murray comes in for cap number 95. Jamison Gibson Park makes way.
Two of the best box kickers around now. So have a guess what we're going to see for the next 13 minutes. But it's the right way to go. Exit strategy from both sides. At the moment, it's attack strategy from England, though.
Jamie George, but Ireland gets a hand on it. We'll confirm who.
I think it was Tag Byrne.
No, back.
Murray.
Back the line.
It'll be more deliberate.
Use it.
And with Gibson Park at 9, and into the air it'll go. And that one is a competition that's won by England, as so many of those competitions have been all evening. Marler. Furlong stays down and allows Youngs to complete the kick. And the mark call by Conor Murray. Crowd urging the referee to have a look at something over there, but there's a lot of urging going on. Big boot of James Lowe, left boot. Finds touch in England. Want to play, and they want to play quick rugby. Freddie Stewart. Forward comes Hugo Keenan again, and he's done really well. Hugo Keenan turns defence into attack for Ireland. Sexton, Robbie Henshaw, back inside. Itoje gets his hands to him. Launchbury gets to Byrne. Murray to Kilcoyne. Tackle from Stewart. Murray, Byrne, back inside. Caelan Doris. Doris is away. Caelan Doris for Ireland. Is this the game? No, it's not. Murray can't hold it. Much like Jonathan Davis last night for Wales, when the line seemed to be at his mercy and all the hard work was done, the final pass isn't held. And on we go. Great break from Ireland. England hanging on in that moment. Low with a kick downfield. You cannot take your eyes off this. You simply cannot.
Stop, drop.
Conway gobble that one up. He'll go for a third. 50-22. This time the ball bounces away from the line. Conway goes after it, but it's dealt with, and it'll be a dropout.
Oh my word. Again, England forwards, players, Marcus Smith trying everyone calm down. That was the game. It was the Jonathan Davis moment from Toby. Talupi Faletau back inside. Whether he actually would have got there at the Arms Park last night doesn't really matter, but I tell you what, whoever dropped that, was it? Come on.
I think it was Conor Murray.
It was Conor Murray. Caelan Doris is back inside of Conor Murray. If he catches it, he does score. That's all I know. Now this is going to be a big one.
Possible.
Robbie Henshaw gathers, steps, He uses strength to get Ireland going forward. Jack Noel just slows it down enough. Sexton, Ireland beginning to string a few passes together in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Murray again, Ian Henderson. Sexton on that loop of his. They'll name it after him, you know. Byrne, Sexton once more. Keenan getting his hands on the ball a lot more. Ringrose, Conan, Lowe, James Lowe. Into the 22, Ireland go. Lowe fighting for every inch. Ball protected by Conan. Ringrose will play scrum half. Herring takes it up. Laws makes the tackle. Ireland coming again. England sticking to the defensive duties once more. Sexton, Van der Fleer, 2 white shirts there, willing to put themselves in the firing line again. Henshaw, Elliot Daly makes the tackle. Conan, again England's defensive line make all the right reads, and Ireland just shovel it across, and Lowe is asked to carry once more. Murray, Van der Fleer. It's a battle of wills as much as anything else right now. Into the 22, Ireland go. Sexton, 12 phases Ireland go through, and there's a gap there, and Ringrose feeds it on to Andrew Conway. Cross comes Daly, Noel is there as well. Up to the English 5-metre line. Murray is there. Ireland are there! Jack Conan. Is that the one that seals the deal? In the end, England just ran out of ability to continue to make tackles, and Ireland built the phases and eventually found the space.
Well, they've been run off their legs, England. So stoic for so long. Again, Ireland have actually started playing now as they did at the start of the game. I've got to say, I think it was, is it Keenan that actually just held that ball up and popped that ball through. And then it just comes out, and again, it's a matter of numbers this time. The dam has split, the dam has broke. Ireland get through, and I don't think England are coming back from there.
Good.
Conan, the British Lion, on the bench. Again, I did look at the benches. I think a bit more experience, obviously, on the Ireland bench. Start celebrating. That's a straight line for once. England couldn't actually force a dominant tackle to stop them in their stride. Johnny Sexton now, who knows how important this kick is.
He'll take every moment that he can.
His 104 test caps would suggest yes, he will. He knows how to play this game, whether it's in the mind or on the pitch.
Well, this old championship has served up another fantastic main course, hasn't it? It never fails to entertain year in, year out. There are moments of magic, and for a variety of reasons, this one will go down as a really engaging encounter. Not done yet, but wow, what a 74 minutes or so we've had. It's had a little bit of everything, as Jonathan Sexton looks to add another 2, which he does, and Ireland have a cushion, 25 points to 15.
Ireland would love a bonus point. They'll take the victory. You would have thought they'd have had probably 6-7 tries the way they started this game. But again, now they're just thinking about exit, go, 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 and Henderson's experience then. Nothing came up against him, drove the ball, and now with Murray's box kick and his experience, I'm sure this will go up into the night sky.
Absolutely, Ireland will very much have bonus point on their mind with next weekend to come, as Herring grabs a hold of it. Not sure that wasn't forward, but on we go. Sexton holds on to it. Tyke Byrne straightens the line, and all of a sudden Ireland have found the gears that they've lost since the opening 10 minutes. Ringrose probing steps, and is put to ground by the ever-willing and able Courtney Laws. Ball doesn't go to hand, so Ireland find themselves back on the halfway line. Robbie Henshaw. And they get the penalty.
And they'll calm things down, and this will be popped into the corner. I think it's, well, it is within Sexton's range, but he probably have a go, take another minute off the clock.
They need that try. They know they need that try ahead of next weekend of England Well, they'll be looking for England to do them a favour now and go to France and win.
But you're right.
Ireland plays Scotland before that game next week, so France will know. Well, simply win for France, a Grand Slam next week. That's what they'll be after. But should England go after it, well, Ireland could, if they get a bonus point, get within 2 points.
But you said this Guinness Six Nations is the greatest, I think, rugby competition in the world. And I'm not just saying that, we've experienced something special here today. And again, these fans will go out there, they'll be drinking a few pints later, arms round each other. All right, might be a tear here, or you should have won that, or you shouldn't have won that. And that's the beauty of this game.
Inside the final 5 minutes, 10 points the margin. So often in this game, it didn't look like Ireland were going to be able to put that sort of lead up. Now they look to close it out. The pick, the drive, and is it the try from Finlay Bealham? It is. Ireland have a fourth try, a bonus point try. 5 minutes ago, it seemed fanciful. Now they have the full set.
Well, the Aussie-born Connacht prop in probably on the bench for Andrew Porter's injury has just done what I didn't think was capable, to be honest. Coming into this second half was get 4 tries for Ireland. They were just desperate to win this game, and it's been turned really in a couple of minutes. Conor Murray knows exactly what he's waiting. Put the go-forward man low there. Get him on that ball. He's been a bit quiet the second half as opposed to the first, and then it's just a pick-up from the dreadlocked prop.
Okay, thank you.
And that is it. I can officially say England aren't coming back from here. You can breathe now. You can breathe. Go on.
It's been a terrific contest made by his team, finding a way to channel the emotion and the disappointment of losing Charlie Earls in the opening minute of the game, and fighting and scratching for every single yard and every single point. Controlled chaos from England at times. Dragged themselves back into a game that up until 5 minutes ago you felt they could easily sneak, but Ireland have shown a little bit of composure that was required, and over goes the conversion, and all of a sudden it's 32 points to 15, and it's a bonus point win for Ireland and Twickenham.
My producer told me they're braids, not dreadlocks, obviously, but again, in the right place at the right time, and there you go. Faz jubilant. Again, he's had to work about it. You'll find out a lot about his place again this afternoon at Twickenham. But again, they've come through it. A bit like France last night at Cardiff Arms.
I think both coaches will have learned an awful lot about their players from this one in England, despite the disappointment, and it will be a bitter disappointment, particularly with the scoreboard the way it is right now. Will no doubt have something to build on next week, and they will not hand the Grand Slam to the French with any ease.
And they'll be up to 15 men.
Correct. Stewart, Youngs, Marcus Smith, Courtney Laws.
No, away.
Penalty England. Andy Farrell will be delighted with the tries and the manner in which Ireland have finally found their feet in this one, but the penalties.
Yeah, do it,
15 conceded by Ireland. That will be a real worry, the scrum in particular, as Joey Carberry comes into the game to close it out for Ireland. Jonathan Sexton will make way.
Into the last minute. There's your
Jamison Gibson Park, named the Guinness Six Nations Player of the Match, chosen by Lawrence Dallaglio for the host broadcasters here in the UK, and well, he's definitely been impressive. He got the tempo when Ireland needed it.
Yeah, he did. He got that try for Keenan. His box kicking was very, very good, I've got to say. I think Lowe probably ran him a little bit close. But can England finish now? They can't, because it's not straight. That is it.
No, it's not straight. There's been a whistle.
Clearly not straight.
Jamie Bonner is coming to the game for Jamie George and hooker.
What we do? No, we play.
That will go down and not straight.
I've got the whistle before, right?
Conor Murray's asked, can we just go off?
Okay,
Do we have to play? Do we have to play? There you go. Get it in, get it out, kick it backwards. They'll remember this game, as the England players will. Not the results so much probably from England, but actually the heart and the fight. Again, it's a professional sport. The referee makes a decision, and the correct decision. You can't do that until they change the laws. England go down to 14. One big last scrum from England. Here it goes.
Conor Murray to touch, and that's it. Ireland have done it. They've won at Twickenham. It took some time to find their way after a enormously brave and competent and able display by 14-man England, but in the end they showed the composure and class required, and they come away from home with a bonus point win on a final score of England 15, Ireland 32. And Dowie Morris, it's a game that I think the English fans will walk away from here despite the disappointment of the loss and feel there is a lot there to be proud of and a lot there to build on, and they will set a level of expectation for that kind of performance in Paris next week.
Look, England should always be a strong side with the player power that we've got, the sort of 12 professional sides. My sort of doubt coming into this sort of game was, are they going to play for the coach? They're under pressure, and sometimes I've seen them play out there and they haven't really given 100%. And I know these players are different to that. Today, that was a total different England. Sometimes when you go down to 14, that's it. It's a Hail Mary. There's only one way to go. There's only one way you can play this game. You've got to roll your shake your sleeves up, and you've got to go full tilt and full bore at the opposition. That's what they did, and they frightened Ireland. Ireland were brilliant in the first couple of phases. 2 tries, they were running away with this game, and, to get someone sent off in the first minute. I know you train for these circumstances, but this is a big game. Eddie Jones called it a semi-final. This is a big game at Twitter, and you go straight away, you're down to 14 guys. As I said many times, Faz will know a lot about his players, more about his players, and I've got to say England will. And they've got to carry on from this. They've got to go to Paris next week and really, really give it a go.
Well, England will head to Paris and Ireland will head home for their final game against Scotland. Let's hear what the man of the match has to say. Jameson Gibson Park is pitch side.
Well, Jameson, first of all, many, many congratulations. I'm sure there's a jumble of emotions going through your mind at the moment. What's the one at the top?
I don't know, probably relief, to be honest. We knew it was going to be a massive challenge coming here this week. It's one of the toughest in world rugby, and credit to England. Down to 14 men, and as we expected, they put up a massive fight, and kudos to them.
When they lost Charlie Ewels and then James Lowe went over for your first try, I guess there was a sensation that it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be easier than we were expected. It didn't pan out that way, did it?
No, not at all. We all know that teams, when they get down to 40 men, they tend to lift a little. I've been on teams where exactly that has happened, and sure, look, that's how it played out today, and they stuck in it for the whole fight. But thankfully, we came out with the points.
What was being said at moments when there was a pause in play and you were looking at each other, thinking, "What is going on?" What was being said that enabled you to steady the ship in those dying moments?
I suppose staying calm was the main one. Look around you. There's 80,000 screaming fans. It can be tough to stay calm, but I think we managed to throughout and come away with the win, so we're delighted.
You've got the win, that's the important thing. The championship is still within your grasp. You've beaten England, now you need England to do you a favour.
Yeah, please God, but anyway, we'll see how it pans out next week.
Well, look, it was just one of the great matches to watch. Thrilling entertainment, and to come away as the Guinness Player of the Match. Many congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Well done.
Martin Bayfield answering or asking the questions and making the point that it was a great game.